Welcome to the Hollywood Raw YouTube page, guys. We're happy to have you here. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us comments, do all the stuff.
What are you waiting for? Let's go. I got a drug addiction to feed.
Welcome to the Hollywood Raw podcast. I'm Dax Holt. Mr. Adam Glyn is on the other side. He is out in New York. I'm here in LA, and it is time for our Raw rundown. This is our the end of the week special, a way to get everyone caught up, find out what happened during the week. If you weren't reading the blogs, if you weren't reading the websites, all that kind of stuff, let us do it for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's here's the top 10 stories of the week. We'll start from number 10, go down to number 1, and we'll kind of make sure that you know what you're talking about going into the weekend of some of the top celebrity entertainment news stories going on in the country. Dax, let's start with number 10.
All right, number 10 is all about the Oscar presenters. So we got the Oscars going on this weekend. It's obviously a big deal, but they are slowly announcing who is going to be there, opening the envelopes, telling who won, because it's not always the people that are in the movies that are doing it. It's extra people. So they, as of right now, this is the lineup for the Academy Awards, the 94th Academy Awards. Josh Brolin will be a presenter. Jacob Elordi, Jake Gyllenhaal, Jason Momoa, Jill Scott, J.K. Simmons, Serena Williams, and Venus Williams, which I thought was interesting. Do you know what their connection is
The movie
with?
that was about their dad, the Will Smith played their dad.
Oh, King Richard.
Richard, yeah.
What is wrong with me? Yes. So, God, that totally slipped my mind. And King Richard, it looks like it's going to be a good weekend for Will Smith. But we'll get into actual Oscar predictions later on in this episode and who we think is going to take away the award, who should take away the award. We'll get into that. But right now, those are the latest of the presenters for the Oscars.
So what's interesting about this, Rachel Zegler, I think that's her last name. She was the star of West Side Story. She went on her Instagram saying that she was not invited to the ceremony, despite headlining a Best Picture nominee. And she kind of put it on her social media, and now they're having her, like, she couldn't get a ticket to the Oscars, but now they're
like, come on up and present.
now that you made it public, it's like, okay, so now she's presenting. So it's like, yeah, you could come, but you got to work for your ticket to come.
But now, if you feel like you shamed them into having you there, do you feel like you would actually want to be a presenter? Like, do you take that opportunity to go, no, you effed up by not even inviting me, and now you're just trying to make good and have me up on stage?
Listen, it's a good publicity. It's good. It's good for her, saying she doesn't get the respect she deserves. I mean, take advantage of the moment. It's the Oscars. But here's the thing: is there's a lot of people that the Oscars. Yes, it's one of the biggest or the biggest award ceremony of the year, at least for film and television. But afterwards, there's all the parties. So there's people who weren't even at the Oscars who just show up to the parties.
Most people.
Most people.
Most people go to the parties that don't get to go to the Oscars. Like, the Vanity Fair after party is one of the biggest things in town, and 98% of the people in that party did not go to the Oscars, did not get an invite, and aren't even actors or actresses.
So it's interesting for you. I mean, listen, Dex, you're on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast. On the East Coast, the Oscar starts at 8 p.m. For you guys, it starts at 5 p.m. So it's done by 8 p.m. at night. And then after that, then you guys go to parties. So it's like, it's just weird with the time difference in New York and LA, like.
Yeah, and I've covered a lot of those parties throughout the years, like, and I'm telling you, Vanity Fair is the best one to be at. Everyone, and here's the thing: you don't even have to like go to the party necessarily, or you could be down the street, and a lot of people have to either like park down the street and walk to the event. I've seen the Olsen twins walking down the street to go to the event. I've seen Paris Hilton walking down the street to go to the event. Like, normally, there's just so many cars and chaos that people park and walk. So could be a good way to get to go see the big celebs.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, that's number 10. Let's go to number 9.
All right. So number 9 is Lisa Kudrow, and they're potentially being a Romeo and Michelle high school reunion number 2. Do you see this?
I saw this, and I saw it happening ever since they kind of came public not too long ago. But I get it. It makes sense.
Yeah, so basically, Lisa Kudrow was on Jimmy Kimmel Live on Wednesday. She was there to promote her new film, Better Nate Than Ever. And, here's the thing. So at the Screen Actors Guild Award, Lisa Kudrow presented alongside Mira Sorvino. Both of them were in the 1997 movie Romeo and Michelle's High School Reunion, and they were dressed up in similar outfits to actually present at the SAG Awards. And so when she did Jimmy Kimmel, he was like, "Okay, so is there any chance that you may have a high school reunion movie, like another one?" And she replied super fast. She was like, "Yes, it would be fun." And she basically said that her and Mira Sorvino are enthusiastic about the possibility of a sequel, which I think would do huge. I mean, the fact that they went out on stage, everyone went nuts for that. Social media went nuts with the photos that they posted. So again, I don't know if the first movie was so good because of, I think, the time, but I don't know, do you redo one of those kinds?
It's funny. I never thought the first one was that much of a success, but I think now people just want to see something, especially a comedy, and just see people reunite. So I think
Yeah.
that's just the allure with it. And obviously, Mira Sorvino, I don't know what she's really done lately, so I think of course, she wants this. She knows I'll bring in money. She knows she'll get paid. Listen, I get it. They're going to campaign. You think Lisa Kudrow went on Jimmy Kimmel not knowing this question was going to come up? No, of
Oh,
course.
100%.
This was
Those
on the
those
pre-interview.
this stuff is all planned. The pre-interview's there, the questions are there. Jimmy Kimmel is not surprising people with questions. Trust me.
It's crazy when you do these late night shows, or not even late night shows. A lot of these shows, I hope
Morning
people
shows
know.
even.
I hope people realize there's a pre-interview for all these shows. So you think you're seeing this raw, candid interview? No, there's a pre-interview with the producer. Sometimes it goes with the publicist or it goes with the celebrity, depending on who the person is, and says, "Okay, here's the questions. Do you have answers? Do you have a funny story for us? What's the story? Okay, because we're going to tee you up." So it's not real. It's all bullshit. All right,
That's absolutely
all right.
true.
Number 8.
Number 8, Daniel Radcliffe will not be playing Wolverine. So I don't know how these rumors started. They got out of control, but basically there's all these things flying around on the internet, connecting him to various comic book like characters like Spider-Man and Wolverine. And he's like had to repeatedly shut all these rumors down. But he says, like, listen, I haven't ruled out playing a super villain or a superhero. But listen, for right now, he will not be playing Wolverine anytime soon. So get that out of your head. He's tired of shutting it down. Focus on him in the Lost City as of now, is basically what he's
Yeah,
saying.
listen, I like Daniel Radcliffe. He's a good guy. He's a good celebrity. He understands his. I don't know. I think he's a funny guy. He showed his penis on Broadway. Come on, what do we know? Like, remember that? Remember Daniel Radcliffe showed his
Yeah, I
penis on
do.
Broadway?
Equus or
Yeah,
whatever it was
that was
called.
an
Yeah.
interesting role. But like, he's
No, but there was another funny story that came out of this. So, apparently Sandra Bullock's kids sat down to eat pizza next to him, and they couldn't stop staring at him because to them he's Harry Potter. So they were like trying to like keep their shit together because they're kids,
yeah.
obviously, but they keep looking over like, oh my god, Harry Potter's eating pizza next to
That's
us.
funny. It's pretty cool.
I love
Daniel
it.
Radcliffe's a
It's so
cool guy.
funny.
He's into fantasy football. Like, I feel like he's just like he embraces just. He's just a good person. He's good, actually. From my
Yeah.
experiences on the streets, like he's just like he's good to the fans. Nice guy. Good for him. All right, what's next?
Number 7, Wendy Williams demands her money. So obviously, there's been a lot of talk about Wendy Williams over the last couple of months, her disappearing off of her show, and now not going back to her show. Well, she started up her own Instagram page, and it is now called The Real Wendy Williams Online. So it's separate from the Wendy Williams show, which she was using before. It's already got 65,000 followers, but she posted this big old long 4-minute video about how her former financial advisor at Wells Fargo, I guess back in February, filed a bank court document claiming that Williams was not of sound mind and then that she was a victim of undue influence and financial exploitation. So basically, the bank is seeking a temporary guardian to ensure that Williams' financial affairs are properly handled, so she doesn't have access to money, including money to even pay her mortgage. So she did this big old long video basically ripping apart the bank, ripping apart this former financial advisor, and she just keeps saying it's unfair, it's not fair, it's not fair. To the point where, in one moment, I'm watching the video thinking, oh, she actually does seem a little more put together. But then the amount of times that she continues to repeat herself and say literally the same thing over and over and over again, I'm like, maybe she's not all there.
Yeah, it's definitely it's hard to have an opinion on this. You know, you want her to be well, you want her to be in the right. I get both sides. I understand why she'd want her money, but then also I can understand the bank doing the right thing. Like, hey, we just want to make sure you're doing
Well, I think yeah, I
it's
think if a bank sees a legit issue and someone's throwing up a red flags, you got to go, all right, let's look into this before someone steals all of her money or she squanders it away. I mean, that was one of the big reasons that both Amanda Bynes and Brittany's families stepped in because they have an incredible amount of wealth and so easy. You get the wrong person in your life and boom, it's gone very quickly, like a Sam Lutfi. So, anyway, go follow her online and she'll probably keep you up to date with that.
all right. What's next?
Number what am I? Number 6? No. Yeah, yeah, no. Oh, I have like 2 here. I have like 2 number 6s. I must have miscounted here, but Bob Saget's family is now saying that the newly released records of his hotel room basically are telling the entire story of his death. So there's more than 50 photos that were taken at the Ritz Carlton in his room in Orlando, Florida, where he passed away on January 9th. And they released all this like body cam footage from the police that when they got there and audio interviews and all this kind of stuff. And they're basically proving that there was no foul play. There were no drugs involved. He literally fell, hit his head, got into bed, and unfortunately passed away in his sleep, not realizing how bad his head injury was. It didn't have anything to do with his COVID. I guess he had that for a while. It was a lingering COVID situation, so that's why he tested positive. But it was more about this fall and hitting his head because the headboard was padded. You know, they basically said, look, it wasn't the headboard, but it was a fall that caused his death.
Listen, it's I think it's funny. It's not funny. It's a lot of people because of his death and people are so hurt. I think people, reporters, everyone's just investigating what really went down. And you
Mhm.
know, they're getting a lot of phone calls. So it's very important that the authorities, that the family had all the information just to make sure to cover their own tracks. You know,
Everyone wants to cover the tracks in such a high profile case. Everyone wants their tracks
yeah.
covered. So that's why there's probably so many photos. And he wasn't in, by the way, in any of the photos. It was just like the hotel room, and they said it was pristine. Like it literally looked like he got into bed and fell right asleep. Like all his stuff in the bathroom were set up, and it wasn't a mess like you would think of someone that maybe was doing drugs or
Yeah.
something
But
else.
I think again, they're
Okay.
all just trying to cover their own track. All right, what's the next one?
So this was a quick one, but I guess it's number 6.2 because I had 2 number 6s written down. But Shawn Mendez, he liked a photo of Camila Cabello's on her Instagram page. This is he like secretly liked one of her thirst trap photos, and everyone obviously went nuts about that. This photo she posted, she's in this black dress, and it's like slit all in the chest and then down the sides and on the arms. And he went and he liked it. And this is just on the heels of him saying how much that breakup just like kind of destroyed him. And it was a really tough thing for the both of them to go through. But I just think it's interesting that he's out liking her photos. I don't know if this is him trying to just say, hey, we're still good, or if he's trying to like slide back in.
It's just wild that this is news. You know, we're gonna get into a more demo thing, but it's wild. Like liking a photo, simple as that becomes news. And
Dude, liking think about it though, the amount of stories of someone unfollowed, someone followed, someone liked, like all of these things are huge stories because this is our society today.
great.
All right, so that's quick and easy.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, number 5, Kylie Jenner. She has now changed her baby's name to something we don't know. So if you remember, Kylie had her baby a little while ago and announced that the baby's name was Wolf. And now she has announced that the baby's name is not Wolf and that they've decided that it didn't feel like the name fit. And so they've changed it. She hasn't announced what the new baby's name is, but a lot of her fans and people that know her, well, have followed her. I wouldn't say know her, but have followed her story. They're blaming this on Tammy Hembrow. Do you know who Tammy
I don't.
Hembrow is,
Fill
Adam?
me in.
So Tammy is one of Kylie's former friends. She was really integrated into the Kardashian family. She's just got like if you see her, you'd be like, oh yeah, she looks like one of
Yeah.
Kylie's model friends. Um, but they had a big falling out because apparently there was all these rumors that Tammy hooked up with Tyga and that Tyga had done all these songs about her. And she basically, destroyed the friend code by going and sleeping with the ex. Okay. Tammy says they were just friends, whatever. But the thing is, Tammy has a son named Wolf. And directly after Kylie posts this announcement that she's naming her son Wolf, Tammy posts a photo with her son and says, "My Wolf." And I think it was a little bit of a, "Hey, remember I named well, I have a child named Wolf," because I think it's not actually her child. I think it's like a stepchild or
Yeah.
something. But I think she was just throwing it out there like, I see what you did there.
S-
So I don't know if that
So,
made her change her
Dax,
name
let me ask
or
you,
the name or
when
whatever.
you give a child a name, does that become
Mhm.
public information where anybody could find that out?
If the birth certificate, sometimes you can get your hands on birth certificates, yes.
Okay.
Not all the time. It depends. They can also put that birth certificate through some other location, like not through LA, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like file it somewhere else where people aren't looking for it.
Okay. Because I'm surprised.
So,
Yeah, I didn't know how that works legally. If someone, if there's ever a legal story, like for example, someone filed
mhm,
for divorce, as soon as they file, that becomes
that has
public
to go
information.
public.
So
Yeah.
anybody, that's how news outlets break the story. But I didn't know once someone's
But you have
born,
to literally like, the people at the courthouse are literally flipping through files, like, looking
all
by
day.
hand for these records.
Yeah.
At least that's how they used to do it, I'm pretty sure that's how they still do it because that's how you're trying to beat the people next to you, but imagine how many people get divorced in LA on any given day. So you're flipping through thousands of records, looking at names, and then half the time, the name could be whatever the person's birth name is versus what their public name is, and you would have to catch that to be able to break that story.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
so yes,
All right.
got to know what you're doing if you're working in the
Yeah. Yeah.
courthouse.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What's number 4? I believe we're on.
Well, now we're on to
Oh,
5.
5.
Oh no, we are on 4.
4.
God, what is wrong with me
What's wrong with
today?
you,
All right,
buddy?
Pete Davidson's mom seems like she is down to have have a grandbaby with. Let me try that
Yeah.
again. I really messed that up. I said Pete Davidson's mom, she is down to have a grandbaby from Kim Kardashian. So basically, what happened was there was a pap photo of Kim and Pete where they were out getting some fast food this week, and a pap site puts it up, or a fan site puts it up, and one of the comments in there, they put she will be pregnant with his child by the end of the year, and they tagged Pete's mom in the comment. Okay, Pete's mom responded with, "Yay." I love
I
that.
mean, yeah. Of course. It's just wild. I mean, listen, again, it's
You
just
know
how
why?
news is made on
Because
Instagram.
every parent, like, wants that. They're like, "Oh, they're ready for the grandbaby," you know? So, like, they're ready for it, so she's over there probably just having fun, didn't realize this was gonna be the top story on BuzzFeed the
Exactly.
next day.
I mean, I could see that. I know a lot of people put something, they like a photo. I mean, Shawn Mendez, like we just talked recently, they didn't realize them liking something that's
Mhm.
so innocent and just being supportive
Especially
and being
her.
nice. Exactly. That it becomes
She
news.
she doesn't know any better. She's used to being, like, the mom of someone famous, not like her like is going to turn into a news story.
Yeah.
So great.
Wild time.
All right.
Number 3.
Number 3, Gabrielle Union dissing, Disney directly after she executive produced and starred in, Cheaper by the Dozen. So, do you know about this whole law that was, being passed, out in Florida, the one that they basically called the, like, "We don't say gay"
Yes,
bill?
I'm very familiar with this. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, this bill that was passed prohibits the discussion of sexual orientation and gender identity in primary schools in Florida. And while all of this bill was going on, Disney was super quiet in Florida, wasn't saying anything, wasn't going up against the bill. Because listen, Disney, you would think they would be a very pro LGBTQIA company because of a lot of just their employees
Their audience.
uh, and their audience, and they're not, and they were quiet, and they got a massive flack from not only a lot of their employees, but their CEO had to come out and basically apologize for their silence on this. But anyway, so Gabrielle Union, she was on the red carpet for Cheaper by the Dozen, and the Hollywood Reporter was talking to her, and she said, I'm really, really proud of this script, especially right now because we can actually say gay, which was a big, huge backslap to Disney for them not speaking up against this bill.
It's crazy. It's interesting.
So she basically then followed up by saying, I don't know if I'll ever get a job again with Disney, but I don't really care because I'm not afraid. There's a lot of other people that will hire me. And she's like, look, I've been living in America since 1972 as a black woman. So nothing really scares me because I've seen it all and I'm not shocked. And so, I've gone through a lot of crap in my life. So we'll see what happens with this.
I mean, it's a ballsy move, but she feels confident in
I
her steps.
I
I mean,
I applaud it. Good
yeah,
for
it's
her, man.
ballsy, but she stepped up, so good for her.
Okay. Number two, Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum. This was a hilarious story this week, caught a lot of attention, but they said that that they first met when their daughters got into a fight in pre and so that was apparently the spark of them getting to know each other because they were trying to figure out how to get these girls to get along, and the school basically said, okay, here's a challenge: who could be nicer to the other person. But I guess now it had become a big joke between Sandra and Channing all these years of how their daughters like basically hated each other, and now they've become really good friends. And when they went to go film The Lost City, I forget where they were filming The Lost City, but anyway, the girls basically got to just hang out for 3 months and have dirt bikes there and party and kid partying, by the way, and just get to know each other really, really well.
I think it's a cute way to get the kids back together. That little competition they did. That's fun.
Can you imagine being the principal and you're calling in the parents, and in walks Jenna Dewan, Channing Tatum? I mean, I know they're not together, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. They probably came in because their daughter was involved in an issue, and then in walks Sandra Bullock, and you're just like, what is happening
If
right
that was
now?
your kid, I mean, would you go nuts?
So cool.
Like,
PTA meetings must be epic
if
there.
I mean, can you imagine the celebrities
So,
at that
all right,
school?
let's get going. And we are down to the number one story of the week, and that is the Oscar predictions. Adam, who do you think is walking home with some of these? I'm going to ask you. So, best picture, you got Belfast, you got Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, West Side Story. Who is going to win?
So you could actually gamble now on these award
Hmm.
shows. I'm going to be honest with you. I think a lot of people will relate to this. With the Oscars now, I don't think it's hard to see these movies, yeah, especially in the past year. So I haven't seen a lot of these
I'm
movies.
looking down. I don't think I've seen a single one of these
I saw
movies.
The Leo DiCaprio movie, and I'm surprised that the yeah. So I
So don't
saw
look
that,
up.
and I'm
Okay.
surprised that isn't even nominated. Um, Based on what I heard,
But you know why that's nominated? Because Leo and Meryl Streep are in it.
political.
That's why it's
So
nominated.
I would say this, based on from what I heard, and it's a movie that I really want to see, is Licorice Pizza. I heard that's a great
Okay.
movie, and I want to see it.
Well, I can tell you the buzz on the streets is that Coda should
Okay.
and will win.
Are you are you
Okay?
SAG,
That
Dax? You are. So do you get the screeners?
yes. I used to, but that's more for the SAG Awards, not so
Yeah, but
much
you still get the
for
screeners for like
this.
some of the best movies of the year, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, yeah. But they do it different. Like, they used to send
yeah.
out actual, like, DVDs and stuff, and now they'll send you, like, a link, and it's good
Oh,
for a certain
gotcha. So
amount of
did you even
time.
get the links at all, or did you even not even pay attention?
Yeah. Yep. Sometimes I don't have time
So
to
if
go watch
if
all the
you're in
movies though,
SAG,
Adam.
they send you all the movies, like some of the best movies of the year, and you get to watch them, and you get to vote on it because you're part of the union. Or if you're too busy,
Mhm.
you just say, "Oh, thanks for the email. I'm not going to send it to my podcast co-host so they can watch the movies."
Listen, I didn't vote because I didn't have a
Oh,
chance
look
to
at you.
watch. So I had to be honest and not vote because that wouldn't
Is
really
it
be fair if
funny
you
to
don't
see
watch
how
them.
they campaign for these votes?
Oh, it's ridiculous, dude. Like billboards in the streets of LA, like please for your
Consideration.
consideration. I'm like, ugh, God. Anyway, I get it. All right, let's go to actor. So you got Javier Bardem, Benedict Cumberbatch, Andrew Garfield, Will Smith, Denzel Washington. Um, do you need the names of the movies as
No,
well, or
because here's what I'll
you?
say. Of all those movies, I did like Andrew Garfield. And he was in that Tick Tick Boom movie. And I didn't think the
Mhm.
movie was amazing, but I thought he was great in it.
Okay. Well, I can tell you, most people believe Andrew Garfield
Whoa,
should
I feel good
win.
about that. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
However, it seems the word on the street is that Will Smith will win.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So it could be Big Willie's year this year, walking away with an Oscar. That would be huge for him. I mean, just the trajectory of his career is unbelievable. I mean, I love Will Smith so much that I would be excited for him, like unbelievably excited. I didn't watch Tick Tick Boom, so I can't say if I
Okay.
agree or disagree with you,
Okay. I respect
unfortunately.
that.
Okay. So then we'll go to Best Actress. You got Jessica Chastain, Olivia Colman, Penelope Cruz, Nicole Kidman, and Kristen Stewart. Any
Um,
guesses?
I don't. I don't have a Penelope Cruz. I don't know. I have no idea.
You're just throwing out a name.
I
You're
have
like,
no
"What
idea.
what's the one name I remember from this list?"
Yeah.
Okay, so they are saying should win Jessica Chastain. They are saying will win Jessica Chastain.
Wow. Good for her.
Yep.
Love her. She's great.
So this would be huge. This is obviously for her role as Tammy Faye Baker in the Eyes of Tammy
Yeah.
Faye. So
These are all great, but let's talk about the awards that people actually care about. Who's going to win for production design? Who's going to win for documentary
well, you know
creation?
what? You're never gonna know because they're not telecasting those ones.
Oh,
They got the old red line, no going on them. So
okay.
and people are actually pissed about that. I'm like, who watches those ones? Like, no one cares. They just want to get the best actors supporting, all that kind of crap.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that wraps it up. Those are the three categories people care most about. I'm not going to get into supporting actress and actor just because we're running out of time. We like to keep this under 20 minutes. We're already at 27. I'm blaming the Oscars for this one and my duplicate number 6.
That's it. Dax, thank you for doing this. Always good talking to you. Guys, thank you for joining in and listening to the podcast. Follow me at Adam Glyn, Glyn. Follow Dax Holt at Daxholt. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys, hope you like that video. We got a lot more where that came from.
Hit that bell, like, subscribe, share with a friend. The best thing you do to support us is really doing that. And we really need the money because we need hair gel.